nearly 3-decade acting career, but I am loving these recent choices from Josh Hartnett. Obviously, Oppenheimer, Trap, and now Fight or Flight, a fun action movie. Tell us how you got involved in this movie.
So I was sent the script probably a year before we ended up making it, and we went through so many different permutations with it. We wanted to make it as fun and unusual and funny as possible, but also the conceit of films like this is that the actors do their own stunts. So I had to get myself into shape. But as I was doing that, I was shooting Oppenheimer, and I had gained a bunch of weight for that. So I had to get into shape much more quickly after we finished that, and then also learn all the fight choreography, and it was a baptism of fire, because this group of wonderful stunt people that worked on this have worked together on a lot of films, and they already had a sort of shorthand, and they were going to make something really cool, and I knew that, and I had to come in and kind of get up to speed really quickly. Luckily was able to, and we shot it very quickly, and we kept the comedic element, and I think the movie is just pure entertainment. So for me, it was a whole new kind of way of going about making film, and I hope audiences dig it, because when you see it with an audience, it is raucous. It's a lot of fun.
Right about that. Audiences are already reacting so positively to it. And these action sequences, like you said, you filmed your own stunts. That's not very common these days. It seems like everyone's like hiring stunt doubles or getting those people. Obviously, we saw Fall Guy, kind of a movie about that, but you are doing your own stunts in this. What was it like learning that choreography to do these sequences?
Well, we had a fantastic team. I mean, it's not like I didn't have a stunt guy working with me the whole time. Clayton, my stunt double, was there to choreograph as me, help me kind of figure out how to best help the sequence kind of figure out best to utilize me, like what the best way to use me was. And also, like, just he gave me like the utmost confidence in what I was doing, because he's a seasoned, trained stunty, and we would work through each of these moves to get to a point where I felt like I could do what I had to do, and I'd be on these rigs every day, and the stunt community is so tight, and they give you so much confidence, so much love when you do something well, that it felt like being on a winning team every day. It was like we won another, we'd finish a sequence and it'd be like, yeah, we beat that other team, like it just felt like playing sports. And I miss that. I haven't been on a sports team in a long time. I was 45 when we shot this, and I hadn't done action sequences like this since Bunraku, I was 29 years old. So I had a different body, and I needed those guys every day to come out and, pat me on the back and tell me I was doing a good job. Otherwise, I was not going to make it. I barely made it through this.
What was that regimen like for you? Like you said, obviously you said you gained weight for Oppenheimer, but then you shoot this right after that. What was that regimen like to get yourself back into shape to shoot these fight scenes?
Well, it was just like, honestly, getting into a boxing gym and into learning some MMA stuff with people that really knew what they were doing, and just spending as much time doing that as I could. And then obviously we were rewriting the script for the comedy aspect, and then when it came down to actually shooting, like I said, we only had 25 days to do the whole thing. So we didn't have a chance to look back once we started. Like, we did all of our stuff that we could in prep. We got there, we shot really quickly, and we didn't know if it worked. It felt good at the time. We felt like we made something unique, but we didn't know if it really worked until we saw that first edit. And Jim sent it to me, and I was like, yes, we made something that is within the sort of genre that I think people are going to be interested in. A lot of, people love action comedies, but like, we did it in a way that is entirely unique, and the character goes through things that you've never seen a character go through in these sort of movies before. And I felt like the character had like genuine jeopardy in these scenes. Like, he was always on the back foot. It reminded me, and we wanted it to be like this, of a sort of 90s Bruce Willis action movie, where he's kind of like, he's at the end of his rope at the beginning of the film. You don't think he's ever going to be the hero, and then hopefully wins out.
Audiences know and love her as Edwina from Bridgerton, Alex Rider, but this is a super fun action movie called Fight or Flight. I'm talking with Charithra Chandran. So tell us about your character in this movie, because it is so different than what we've seen you as Edwina in Bridgerton.
Yeah, I think that Isha is like so unassuming at the beginning of the film, and she really takes advantage of the fact that probably people from the outside don't expect much from her. They expect her to be fragile and delicate. And I love that she uses that as a disguise because she's tough as nails. She can fight, she's fierce, she's smart. And like as an actor, it's such a privilege to be able to play a character that has that range within the role.
It's so much fun to watch these action sequences. They are violent, they're bloody, they're gory.
Yeah.
What is it like to kind of get that choreography down and nail these action sequences?
Well, it was my first time doing stunts at this level, and I was always so excited. It's like very much like a dance. It's just making sure that you're totally prepared and you feel super confident in the choreography and that you have a team that you trust and trusts you. And then after that, it's just all performance and fun. And yeah, like I absolutely loved it and I feel hooked. Like I want to do more stunts.
Like you said, it's kind of like a dance, like Bridgerton. We see those ballroom scenes, those dancing scenes, but this is all action from the start. I mean, kind of similar in what you said, the dance. Did you take anything from those dance sequences in Bridgerton to kind of focus your mind and say, okay, this is 1-2 step, kind of counting like this?
Less about the 1-2 step, but I think what Bridgerton taught me was that in order to be able to deliver dialogue or to be totally in your character, you need to be 100% certain of the steps and the movements. Like that needs to be so in your body that actually what you're focusing on is delivery and performance. And in the same way, I think that what I brought to Fight or Flight was I wanted to be so confident and comfortable in the stunt choreography that I could then focus on finesse and characterization and like the performance element of it.
Fight or Flight, I mean, the 1-2 punch in this is obviously your character, Josh Hartnett's character. What was it like building that chemistry on scene as you guys are kind of fighting from start to finish? It's all kind of filmed in real take.
Oh my goodness. It's like, this is the thing. It's so nice to have such a supportive and like kind co-star. And like Josh really looked out for me and made sure that I was always okay. And so I think that like the dynamic was so natural and trusting, or by the end, I guess, on screen trusting. But for us, it was from the beginning. And like, yeah, I'm so grateful to have had such a like my first experience of stunts and action to be with Josh. Yeah.
Stunts and action are getting even bigger because the Oscars are introducing a category in this. So audiences are going to keep loving these kind of movies. What do you take away from a movie like this where fighting is at the forefront, but it's so much fun from start to finish?
Well, you know, I think that like what I really loved about the reception of this film is that we were very clear on what we were trying to make, which was like something that was really entertaining and comedic and like high impact action with heart. And like the stunt team really make this movie. They're such talented, skilled performers, such unsung heroes. And I think it's about time that the Oscars honor these professionals.
You're so right about that. It is a summer blockbuster starting off the season. Thank you so much. Make sure you see Fight or Flight in theaters May 9th.
Thank you.
Thank you. A feature directorial debut is huge. It's a big, big moment for James Madigan. So thank you so much for chatting with me. Tell us what this movie is all about.
This is a story of a person that has lost everything, and they're given a chance to get their life back. And it turns out that what they have to do to get that is to basically sell their soul. And he kind of realizes along the way that maybe it's not worth it, you know, which makes it sound kind of serious and dark, but it is a wild ride that is a lot of fun. It is a comedy. And it's one of those things that is the main thing people have been saying to me is that it's very unexpected from what they were thinking it was. So
it is so much fun. I had so much fun watching this movie. Obviously, Josh Hartnett at the forefront of this. What is it like having him be your leading man as his kind of career resurgence is taking place and he just keeps getting bigger and bigger roles?
Yeah, there's kind of no movie here without him playing that role, you know, because when you have an action movie like this, you just get a certain cliched, you know, bunch of cast ideas get thrown around. And because we didn't want this to just be a clone of the other action movies out there, I didn't want it to be. I felt like to break through, it needed to be something very different. It needed to exist on its own terms. And then we heard he was interested, right at the beginning of when I became involved, and I was like, oh my God, that would be a dream, because he's an actor's actor. It is clearly, if you just look at all the different things that he's done, he doesn't pick things to have the big blockbuster or the tent pole. He picks things because they're interesting performances, and that's what I wanted. And I didn't know if he'd be into all the different aspects of it and where I wanted to go and the absurdity of it. And from our first conversation, it was heaven. I mean, the way he talked about the character was exactly what I was hoping. And it was perfect from day one. And the only question then is he going to be able to do all the stunts? And every single bit of fighting in this movie, you see it's 100% Josh, which meant I could track the character, with him as he goes through every single part of it. So it's what makes the movie what it is, that it's Josh.
So awesome to hear that he did all those stunts. And I mean, the early reviews from this are so fantastic, especially being your feature directorial debut, people comparing it to John Wick. But you also say this is a different kind of action movie. It's so good, though. What is it like to get that reception from audiences who have already seen the movie and are telling people to go see it on the big screen?
Oh, it's incredible. When you're making something in sort of like a warehouse in Budapest in the middle of the winter, it's sort of like, leaky ceiling kind of thing. You just don't know what's going to happen. And especially the way the movie industry is now, to have it be going out in wide release, theatrical release, to have, the reviews be so glowing. It's incredible. It really is. I couldn't be happier. We're all just really, ecstatic about it. So it's fun. It's fun. May 9th, we're just fingers crossed. But yeah, it's very gratifying.
Congratulations on all the success of this movie. Like you said, May 9th in theaters, Fight or Flight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
In some of the best sci-fi shows, Battlestar Galactica, The Mandalorian, but now she's in this super fun action movie, Fight or Flight. Katee Sackhoff, tell us all about your character in this super fun movie.
Oh my gosh. She's a little different, but very similar to the characters that I've played in my day. She is very strong. She is very driven. She gets what she wants. She is the smartest person in the room at all times, and she's 5 steps ahead of everybody. I love that about her. I loved that we never quite knew who she was, what she wanted, and what she was willing to do for it. But you quickly figure it out.
It's so fun to see you on screen. Obviously, you don't share the scenes with Josh Hartnett, but you guys kind of communicate in this. So you still act alongside him. What was it like working with him as you guys are kind of just phone call conversations and kind of communicating that way?
Yeah, absolutely. We did get to meet, which was wonderful. We were both in Budapest filming at the same time. So I loved that. That really helped. I had his dialogue, he had mine. So we were watching and listening to each other's work the entire time to make sure that it was symbiotic and it had a flow to it. Josh leaned into the relationship with Catherine as much as I did with Lucas. And I think that we had that camaraderie with each other, and we saw who these characters were to each other even before we started filming. And I love that we both saw that. And I love that James Madigan, the director, let us lean into that relationship.
Love to hear stuff like that. And this is it's a summer blockbuster through and through. It's kicking off May. I mean, it's so fun on screen. Audiences are reacting very positively to it already. What is it like to be part of a film like this that knows what it wants to be and audiences are responding to that?
This is the kind of movie that I grew up loving. I mean, I wanted to be Bruce Willis and save the Nakatomi building. Like, this is what I want. In the first 1 minute of Die Hard, you know who he is, what he's trying to accomplish, what he has to stand to lose, and what he's willing to do for it. This is no different. And I love that. I love that James took the script, knew what the objective was, and set out to do it, and he did it, and so did Josh, and I'm so proud of them. They worked their butts off, and audiences are loving it. So
Like you said, Die Hard. I mean, the first minute of this is action, and then we kind of get the backstory, but it is action from the start. I don't want to give too much away, but audiences need to see Fight or Flight in theaters May 9th. Thank you so much, Katee.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thanks.